Hi guys. Just wanted to share some of my experiences that I've had so far being on the detox. I, for those of you who don't know me, and probably a lot of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy Cork. I'm an optometrist. I've been practicing for about 20 years. In addition to that, I have been a pharmaceutical chemist prior to becoming an optometrist. And then since becoming an optometrist, I've had an interest in alternative health, and I've become certified in several alternative health techniques and holistic practices. So I'm giving you my experiences that I've had so far on the detox from my background just as a holistic practitioner. I thought these may be things that would be useful for you to know, and then also too for the people that you sign up to do the detox, because in the 20 years since I've been practicing as an optometrist and I've been studying different holistic techniques, I have done lots and lots and lots of detoxes, different types of cleanses throughout the many, many years. I would say probably the most intense one that I've done is the Master Cleanse. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's pretty much drinking lemon juice, water, maple syrup, and cayenne pepper only. And I've done that for 21 days straight, fasting with just drinking that. That's probably been the most stringent cleanse that I've done. And in addition to doing that, you do take different herbs or kind of laxative type teas to help loosen everything in the digestive system and get it out. So, in my many years of doing cleanses, and typically I try and do a cleanse at least twice a year, especially going into the spring season, like right now is an ideal time to do a cleanse, actually, because over the winter time when it's cold and during the holidays, we tend to eat a lot more stuff that's not healthy for us. So now is a good time to actually get rid of all the toxins that have built up in our system over the holidays. So I usually do a cleanse right around springtime, and then going into the fall. So I try to do at least 2 cleanses a year, if not more. If I can do one at the change of every season, I try and do that. Currently, I'm living in Juneau, Alaska, so it's been a little bit more challenging for me to do it. It's been harder for me to really stick to doing the cleanses that I've done previously in past times, just because of the weather here and the foods that are available to me. So, what I've discovered doing, or what I've experienced so far with doing the detox using the TLC products, I am in love with these TLC products, okay? The tea is, I've found to be very, very gentle. Previously, as I've said, I've had, I've only had one other product that I've found to be very effective at detoxing the crud out of your intestines. And it's pretty violent, to say the least, when you actually go. And, the product that I used to take, it's very effective, but you always want to make sure that you're not too far away from the restroom first thing in the morning and for like the first few hours of the morning, because you don't want to actually have an accident. And with the TLC products, the tea that we're using, I found it to be extremely gentle but yet effective. So first thing in the morning, when I get up, I have my NutriBurst. I take my NutriBurst, and then I also take my energy, and I take a tablet of the chaga and the tachui, and I drink my water, and then probably in about, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, I am ready to go. And it's a good go. It always is a good go. I've been on the tea now, and I want to say just a little bit over a week, because I just brewed my second batch of tea and started that yesterday. So I'm going into my second week now of using this tea. And every day it's been really easy to go. I get a really productive motion. um, so to speak, and no stomach cramping, which is something that is very common with taking some of other laxative type teas, even herbal teas that you may take. A lot of the active ingredient in some of these teas are herbs that cause your intestines, to cramp. So I've not had any of that experience taking this tea. The nice thing too, one of the things I was a little bit concerned about with using the tea at first is that I worried that if I took it during the day, I might, need to run to the bathroom while I was at work, which can sometimes be a little bit problematic when you're seeing patients and they're kind of back to back to back. But I have not had that issue at all, even with drinking the tea at lunchtime and then also during the evening. I've recently switched that up a little bit, and I'm now drinking the detox tea first thing in the morning, even though I'm not eating anything with it. And then I have it again with my lunch, and I haven't found that changed when I go significantly. I still am going first thing in the morning and having a nice productive go of it. Let's see. The only other thing that I did want to mention as far as my experiences with it is, when you're detoxing, you're releasing a lot of toxins that have built up in your tissues throughout the years. And, depending on how used to cleansing you are, you may or may not have a hard time with this. All right. As someone who's done a lot of cleansing over the years, I know what to expect. I also know that my body is very, very sensitive to toxins as they're being released. So some things that you can experience while you're taking the tea and your body's detoxing is you could have headaches, feeling a little bit queasy, having a very dry mouth or bad breath, bad body odor. All of these, are just the toxins being released. The other thing too is that as you detox, what you're going to find is that any issue that you had over the years previously, like maybe you had allergies or asthma, or, you may get a runny nose or cold or anything like that. Do not get alarmed if you start feeling ill as you detox, because the way to healing is that, when we take medications, what happens is that all the stuff gets pushed into the tissues. Nothing's actually being solved. So, the body isn't expelling stuff as it's supposed to when we're taking medications. We just tend to push all those bad things into the tissue and everything gets suppressed. So as you're detoxing, all of these things now are starting to be released, and your body is going to start to try and get rid of it. So you may find yourself having more of a runny nose or a cough or a sore throat. All of those are good things, because this is our body's way of expelling the toxins, okay? It's not just the stuff that's in our intestines that needs to come out. It's also the stuff that's stored in our tissues. And if you're using the TLC products and you start burning fat, we store a lot of toxins in our fat. So as those are being released, they also need to be processed through the liver and the kidneys. And then, our skin is also our largest organ of excretion. So that is also going to help to release the toxins. So you want to make sure that you stay very well hydrated as you go through your detoxing. So drink a lot of water. If you guys do not have a Kangen machine, make sure that you get one. You can ask Dee or Justin. A lot of us here in the group are Kangen water owners because we know the benefits of drinking alkalized water. But that's going to help you have really good results in getting rid of the toxins. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you drink lots of water to help hydrate and flush the system, in addition to drinking your tea. So the other thing now that I do want to mention that I experienced is that I got my cycle, my monthly cycle, while I started, or just before I started this detox. And for me, I've had really severe cycles where I have had, it's been extremely heavy, lots of cramps, or I have to take ibuprofen, tons of ibuprofen just to get through the day. What I found during this cycle as I was going through is that I had very little cramping during my cycle. In fact, during the time that I had my cycle, I only had to take 3 tablets of ibuprofen during the entire time. And normally I've had days where I've had to take 6 to 8 ibuprofen in a day just to get through because of all the pain. So that was a good thing. I also found that the flow was a lot less heavy. However, I do want to let you all know, for you ladies, because you may experience this, is that my cycle lasted a very, very, very long time. So instead of being, my cycles tend to be a little bit longer than normal anyway, but this time around, due to the detox, it was 14 days long. And and I was getting still a lot of stuff being discharged even at the 14th day. So just remember, if this happens, I don't want you to, I'm letting you know, I know it's probably sharing too much information, but I wanted to share it with you in case some of you had those experiences, is to remember that as we go through our monthly cycle, that is part of our body detoxing as well. And while you're taking the tea and you're detoxing, you're just going to get more stuff shedding and being released. So if you find that maybe you're having a heavier than normal cycle, or your cycle's lasting longer than normal while you're taking the tea, this is not something to get concerned about. It's just a part of your body's natural detoxing. And you're just helping it along with the tea. All right. So I just wanted to share those few things that I've experienced as I've been doing the detox. Simply because for me, I know that if I hadn't been someone who's been familiar with cleansing and detoxing over the years and knowing how my body reacts and what things to expect, some of the things that I've been experiencing, especially with my cycle, they were concerning to me to a little bit of an extent just because of the length of it. But seeing as I have experienced this in prior times with cleansing, I knew that a lot of it had to do with the detoxing that I'm doing now with the tea. Again, as I said though, the symptoms were a whole lot less than previous times, and even just regularly when I'm not detoxing, the symptoms have been so much more reduced and much more pleasurable, if I can even use that word, in conjunction with using the words monthly cycle. They just don't go together. But I just wanted to share those experiences with you guys. If hopefully you get some value from it, and that this helps you to help people that that are also going through the detox process. All right, and that's it for me.